Russian dictator Vladimir Putin's plans to create a sanitary zone in Sumy Oblast are turning into a disaster for the Russian army. The loss of control over another border village, Alekseyevka, is imminent. This was reported by the Russian Z resource Northern Channel, which is associated with the Russian armed forces. He was very critical of the command of the Russian armed forces, which continues to send soldiers to certain death in this section of the front, despite the lack of prospects. Alekseyevka will have to be surrendered. It's a matter of time, and a matter of how many people will have to die to realize this. Now the situation is repeating itself exactly like with Kondratovka, which was half-encircled and where most of the 30th MSP, fighters from the 41st MSP, 177th OPMP, 810th BRPMP, and others were buried, the channel wrote. He noted the low quality of the Russian military operating in this section of the front. According to him, they are mostly pensioners, captured deserters, alcoholics, and other cream of society. They are useless on the battlefield and the losses are colossal. At the temporary deployment points, they are constantly guarded by military police. Weapons are issued only before going to the combat mission. 2 magazines. This does not save from regular cases of desertion. Now, units of the 2nd and 3rd Battalions of the 30th MSP will go to the Alekseyevka area with the aim of reinforcing those there and preventing complete encirclement. The Russian Z resource reported. He doubts that the task will be accomplished. Alekseyevka, where the Russian armed forces found themselves in operational encirclement, will have to be abandoned. I remember Kondratovka and all that horror, with the huge number of dead just on the approach to this village. Forecast: it will be the same now. The personnel, which is not the most combat-ready, will be destroyed in a stupid attempt to stop the inevitable. Why did this Alekseyevka surrender in strategic terms? Why kill the guys? Because they exist, and they are not a pity. By the way, about Kondratovka, there is only one way to it now, by swimming across the reservoir. And in some places you can't see the water under the bodies of our people. Ukrainian drones are racing to see who will be first to shoot down a Russian Marine. Severny Canal reported.
The man accused of assassinating conservative activist Charlie Kirk at a Utah university has been charged with aggravated murder. According to Associated Press, the charge means 22-year-old Tyler Robinson could face the death penalty if convicted of killing Kirk at Utah Valley University in Orem. Robinson appeared briefly before a judge by video from jail. Kirk was gunned down September 10 as he spoke with students and died soon after. Prosecutors allege Robinson shot Kirk in the neck with a bolt-action rifle from the roof of a nearby campus building. Robinson also is charged with felony discharge of a firearm and obstructing justice. Prosecutors say Robinson's DNA was found on the trigger of the gun used to kill Kirk.
For count 1, aggravated murder, a capital felony in violation of Utah Code annotated 76-5-202, in that on September 10, 2025 in Utah County, the defendant, Tyler James Robinson, intentionally or knowingly caused the death of Charlie Kirk under the following circumstances. The defendant knowingly created a great risk of death to another individual other than Charlie Kirk and the defendant. Notice conviction of this offense may carry the death penalty or pursuant to Utah Code 76-3-207.7, a mandatory
assigned, but we need you to allow for the appointment of counsel.
Thank you, Mr. Skortis.
Yes, Your Honor. Chad Grunander for the state. I'm also joined, and they're listed as attendees. Ryan McBride, Lauren Hunt signed that.
Thank you. I have reviewed the pretrial protective order and will be issuing this pretrial protective order in favor of Erica Kirk. Is there any other business that we need to address today, counsel?
Just for the court's information, we did file just recently, within the last few minutes, a notice of intent to seek the death penalty. That was filed by Utah County Attorney Jeff Gray. So that should be in the court's file.
Mr. Robinson, for count 1, aggravated murder, a capital felony in violation of Utah Code annotated 76-5-202.
Just recently, within the last few minutes, a notice of intent to seek the death penalty that was filed by Utah County Attorney Jeff Gray.
U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio's plane landed Tuesday morning in Doha, Qatar, ahead of his meeting with the country's ruling emir, Sheikh Tamim bin Hamad Al Thani. According to Associated Press, Qatar hosted a summit Monday that saw Arab and Islamic countries denounce Israel over its airstrikes on Hamas leaders in Qatar last week. That attack last week that killed 6 people. But leaders at Monday's summit offered different views about what to do, and the group agreed to take only minimal action.
Well, as you saw, the Israelis have begun to take operations there, so we think we have a very short window of time in which a deal could happen. We don't have months anymore, and we probably have days and maybe a few weeks, so it's a key moment, an important moment. And again, our preference, our number one choice is that this ends through a negotiated settlement where Hamas says, we're going to demilitarize, we're no longer going to pose a threat, we're going to disband, we're going to release every single hostage. By the way, this shouldn't be a single hostage. If you want to fight a war, you fight wars between combatants. You don't fight wars by taking civilians as human shields. And in this particular case with the hostages for almost over 2 years now, that's a barbaric practice. It's an unacceptable practice. The president called it out yesterday. So that's what we prefer. We want it to end that way. We hope. We've done a lot of work, and Ambassador Witkoff has spent countless hours working on this. We think the Qataris could play a very key role in making that happen. That's his preference.